what's worse than being pissed off is feeling completely apathetic about where football is at Arkansas and just want it to be over with. Part of me just wants, Bobby Petrino to go out as a winner, this whole thing come around full circle against Missouri in Fayetteville. Wouldn't that be nice? Senior day, send the 30 seniors off for the win. And most times it would be like, yeah, really nice. But I really just don't give a damn. I really don't. I want it to be over. I'm tired of traveling for these games and watching them get their ass kicked over and over again. I'm tired of sitting there watching TV and just going like, look at what Talon did. What is he thinking? Turn the whole game around. What's up, everybody? Trey Biddy with Hog Sports coming to you from Darrel K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium. It's too long of a stadium name. Texas 52, Arkansas 37. The whole game changed, obviously, when whatever Talon was doing and whatever route Rohan was running. I mean, it was an 11-point game at that point. It's like, what, 9:52 or something left in the game in the third quarter. What's frustrating about this team also, it's like, gosh, they're just going up and down scoring. They're settling for field goals, but they're going up and down the field and they're scoring. Texas is scoring. And then the defense finally gives you a stop and you're like, here's an opportunity. Well, we know what Arkansas does with opportunities, though. They squander them. They go 3 and out. Defense gets another stop. What does the offense do? 3 and out. 3 total yards on those 2 series. And that's how the game ends. And it's just, that's how the half ends. And then you come out in the second half and you have that awful turnover. I mean, it's just like this. I'm just so ready for it to be over, honestly. And I hate that I feel that way. I hate that the level of apathy with me is just like, this next week can't come fast enough and we can't move on fast enough. And that is never how I've wanted to feel about Arkansas football. And I felt that way plenty of times over the years. It's just, Arkansas had 2 turnovers in this game. You know how many they got back? 0. You know how many turnovers they have lost this year? 20 turnovers. Last in the SEC. You know how many they've gained? 8. Last in the SEC. You're just not going to win games like that. You're not going to win on the road committing more penalties than the other team. You're not going to win on the road losing special teams. Whoever brings, comes to Arkansas, like the things that I want them to start with as a program, as a foundation, as a base for the program, is not putting up a bunch of yards on offense and losing games. Penalties, turnovers, special teams, being disciplined, being somebody that you can be proud of, but being a team that maybe they don't have as much talent year one as they start out, but being a team that will make you proud of them because they do the right things. They don't make foolish errors. They understand how to play and execute football and how to win games in critical moments. And this team they just don't do that. When it comes to a critical moment where you have to win the game, you have an opportunity presents itself, this team just completely folds. And they've done it all year long. That's why they're 2-9. So 52-37, and obviously just kind of a ticky-tack touchdown there at the end. KJ did some good things when he came in. He had that sack fumble that really blew the game wide open. I haven't been to this venue in a long time. I haven't been to Austin in a long time. Another good food town. I'll tell you what, this whole stadium is an ant farm. Like the inside of the stadium is an ant farm. But the outside's pretty impressive. So the road trips come to an end. 20 losses now. The Walk and Talk is brought to you by Sutherlands. For our home and garden needs, you need a barn dominium, hunting lodge. This way. Garage. They've got you hooked up. You can reach out to them at 1-800-66-BARNS or go to Sutherlands.com, get a free estimate. And if you mention that you saw it on the Walk and Talk with Trey Biddy, they're going to hook you up with $1,500 back in merchandise that you can spend. So pretty sweet deal from our friends over at Sutherlands. People who are also tired of all this crap that's going on with Razorback football over the years, this year included, and are ready to move on with a new coaching search. What are we looking for in this coach? Well, what we're told, defensive-minded guy. They're leaning towards that. Doesn't mean there's not offensive guys out there. Obviously, we know that they, even after Hunter had said that, he's still interviewing offensive guys. Somebody that has a background in the SEC, either as a player or as a coach. Somebody has had coaching experience. These are the things that they're looking for in the next Razorback football coach. But there's so much to come after this too, guys. Like, it's not just like, yeah, it's going to be a lot of hoopla around the guy who's hired and stuff. But then we've got assistant coach hires. We've got the transfer portal madness. We've got a recruiting cycle coming up. There's a ton of stuff. And by the way, sign up at Hog Sports, 2 months for $1 right now. That's going to end Monday night at 11. So sign up, hawgsports.com. Check us out over there. Oh no. Hey buddy. See if I can get this guy to let me in. So I tracked myself all the way back to this point so I'd know how to get back, and they've locked me out. And that guy saw me. Okay, well, we're just going to keep walking and talking then. Maybe I can get in over this side. So, yeah, I don't know what else there is to talk about, guys. Oh, thank goodness. I don't know what else there is to talk about, but, you know, Arch Manning looked like preseason hype Arch Manning, not regular season Arch Manning. Of course, leave that up to Arkansas. 4 touchdown passes, rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown. Yay for Arch. So excited for Arch Manning. And hell, guys, I don't know what else to say. Like, we're almost done with this and we can move on. I don't even know if anybody's going to watch this walk and talk. But like, I'm anxious to do like the next walk and talk and then be done with it and then start talking about something new, something fresh, a new coach, new hires, new recruits, new players. I don't even know, like with this current roster, like there's going to be a lot of seniors leave. There's going to be some guys that, you know, I like and I think are good players for Arkansas, players that you like to have back, but they're seniors. But aside from that, like who on this roster, like, you know, KJ Jackson, who's putting on some good film possibly for somebody else right now. Who else? Braylon, who didn't make the trip today because he's in concussion protocol according to Petrino. Maybe some of these young wide receivers, some of the young offensive linemen, Quincy Rhodes. Who else? Bradley Shaw. Just not a whole lot. So, but this is what you get to, and I think about it too, like, I think about the investment that you make in this program. Like, if you're not going all in on investment, which I think they're trying to do, but if you're not going all in on it, like, think about some guys making hundreds of thousands of dollars or $1 million on this team for a 2-9 football team. Why? Why even bother if that's what you're going to invest? You have to either be all in, or why would you try to compete with and try to build, like, get your fan base to come and try to build, you know, energy around a product that you know doesn't really have a chance to compete. Like, this is what we're doing. Like, get excited about football season. We don't really have a chance to compete because we're not invested fully into football. And by doing that, like, you're asking fans to give, you're asking boosters, businesses, you know, all of that stuff. You're asking all those people to give you money. And I've said this before, but the fans, the boosters, those are the only people giving. Everybody else is taken in this situation. And they're taking and delivering a 2-9 football season. And last year wasn't worth a damn. When's the last time it's been worth a damn? You've had one season that's been decent. I got you, buddy. I'm not going to look past you. Yep. You had one season that's worth a damn. And since the end of Brett Bielema's last year in 2017, when they lost against Virginia Tech, they lost against Missouri first, they had a big lead, lost against Virginia Tech, then you had the terrible Chad Morris years, that terrible first year under Bielema. I don't remember if the next year was much to crow about either, but the 2015 season, you won 8 games. That could have been Could have been a 10-win season. You also had a miracle play, 4th and 25, but you lost that Mississippi State game on a blocked field goal. You lost to Toledo that year, which really torpedoed that whole season. So you had that year in 2015. But since then, the end of that 2016 season, you lose those 2 games. 2017 was throwaway, 18 was throwaway, 19 was throwaway. 20 was the COVID year where there was a little bit of a spark. We still only won 3 games that year. A little bit of a spark. A lot better the next year, and then it's been, just downhill ever since. That's where we are. So hopefully we can just be done with this and send all these guys on their way. Thanks for what you did, but it's time to move on. Let's go and bring in a new coach, bring in some new players, bring in some new staffers. I don't know, maybe you look at keeping somebody on staff, a Mateos or something. Where's the button? This place is a maze. I've never seen a place as much of a maze as this one is. All right, everybody. I'm not even sure what level I'm supposed to be on. I think it's 9. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining me. Trey Biddy, Hog Sports. Sign up 2 months for $1. A lot of stuff coming up with the coaching search. Just move past this damn football season. Just get it over with. Get Thanksgiving here. Move on. We'll catch you next time.